start with team news first of all. So I guess the biggest question is whether Jan Bednarek and Aaron Ramsdale,
Yeah.
what are their situations?
Well, they'll both be out for this weekend and a number of weeks. So Aaron's had an operation on his finger, so expect him to be back near Christmas sometime, hopefully this side of Christmas. And Yanni B is always the worry and the risk when they go away on international duty, the guys, that you end up with an injury. So we spoke very quickly after the game, and Yanni was really worried about his knee. And then thankfully the scan showed it's an injury, but it's not as significant as we might have feared at the first, and Yanni feared. So he will be hopefully a week or two before Aaron, but they'll miss this small block of games. And yeah, we'll do everything we can to get them back as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's a massive blow ahead of his,
It's huge, yeah. They've been two of our best players. They've been two of our best players all season. So since Aaron come in, and Yanni, since we walked through the door really, and I think the last couple of weeks Jan and Aaron have had there's a big onus on them to start the way we play and the build up and stuff. So of course it's going to affect the team and how it looks. But other people have to step in and take their place and take an opportunity now. So yeah, I've been really happy with those guys, and now they're going to be out the team for a little while. It's up to people to stake their claim.
Any other absences or players returning from?
I think Ryan Fraser's back properly now. Camerdine's back properly now. So yeah, I think everything else is pretty much the same.
So I mean, they're the negatives, the international break. But there were some positives as well, some nice stories as well around the players that were on international duty. Goal scorers, debuts. I guess Taylor Harwood-Bellis was the highest profile. How proud were you of him for his impact on Sunday?
Yeah, I think we're all immensely proud of him at the club and really happy for him. So I think the aim when he came in last year in the Championship, when he was disappointed not to be in the Premier League at that point, was to get there together and give him the best chance of achieving his dream of playing international football, to then make his debut and scoring his debut is incredible. So yeah, really pleased for him and his family. They're a great family, and for his parents and for him, and hopefully it'll be the first of many for Taylor.
He's had a lot of attention, a lot because of the links with, he's about to engage to his daughter. All quite good fun, but does he sort of take that stuff in his stride?
Yeah, I think it's his private life, and I think in football it's very blurry, the line between private life and professional life. And but yeah, I think if he does receive any stick or banter from the lads about it, he takes it really, really well. So yeah, I think he's able to separate that, and it is what it is. And I think everyone was, like I said, so happy for him.
The disallowed goal at Wolves and decisions that didn't go your way. Did you speak to the PGMO?
We did, yeah. So as a club, we had a meeting with them, with the owners involved as well, and the chief exec. And I have to say, it's not an easy job for Howard Webb. So I think he does it really, really well. I still have an issue with the goal, for sure, and a foul in the second goal. I also have an issue with them coming out and saying it's the correct decision ultimately. So I think if we're going to improve VAR and make it better, then we have to have real honesty and accountability. So for it to come out as a correct decision in the match review after is frustrating to me, but it is still subjective, right? So the second goal, for sure, they should take longer on analysing the foul from Craig Dawson, because it is a foul. But they let us hear all of the audio and watch it again. And the first goal is open to interpretation, maybe Ryan Manning's goal, but I still think it's the wrong decision, because it's not a clear and obvious error. So I think if we're going to go on which is what I've been told a few times this season with a few decisions we've been on the wrong end of, that it has to be a clear and obvious error. I'm not sure it is for Ryan's goal. So we're going to disagree on that forever. It's happened. It is what it is. As I said, Howard's not in an easy position, but I think if he really wants his guys to get better in the process, VR getting better, then I'm sure they've had conversations about it, and he accepted a lot of our points and we had to accept a lot of his, because it's not easy. But I think it was important for us to have a chat, and I don't want to be out here moaning about decisions all the time. I don't think I've done that. I moaned after the game because I felt it was really unjust and wrong, but I'm just not going to do that. It's not my personality, really. So it is what it is. We have to accept it. We move on. I just love it to go back to a bit of human error and balance out the course of, because I think if you still make a mistake after the process of that, it then becomes even more frustrating.
Last one from me. I know my colleagues are going to speak specifically more about Liverpool, but that game kicks off what is traditionally busiest run of fixtures we have in the season. Position you're at the table now, the next few weeks it can just completely turn upside down, can't it? Things can change very quickly over the next few
Yeah,
weeks.
I think so. I think we showed the guys the Premier League table last season and how it looked to this point and how much it changed by the end of December. But honestly, it's such an exciting month. People will talk about the difficulty of the games and level of competition we face in the next 4 or 5 games, but it's what we all work so hard for, and we should be excited about the challenge. And I think teams have shown in recent weeks that you can pick up big results against big teams, good opposition, and we're going to have to. We're going to have to at some point if we want to achieve what we want to achieve. And actually, our level of performance against the teams at the top end of the table has been good on the whole. We just need to take it a step further and pick up a result. And I'm really excited about Sunday. We're playing the best team in the country at the moment on their current form and what they've been doing with a new manager, built on an incredible foundation from their previous manager. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
You mentioned, Russell, that people have been able to pick up results against some of the top sides. Liverpool have been the hardest one for teams to pick up, 13 wins out of the last 14. Where do you start? Where have you started your analysis in terms of trying to find the answers to unpick them?
Well, about reviewing our own performances over the last however many months and however many games, understanding what we've liked over the last few weeks, and has given us a basis and a platform to build on, and understanding what we didn't like and what we need to be much better at after the Wolves game. So it always starts with us, and then of course we look at Liverpool and have a look at a few things that we can try and capitalise on, and also understand their threats, which are they have a lot of. So yeah, the same way we prepare for every game, to try and be better than our last one, and to try and prepare as best we can and find a way to stop the opposition and to impose our own game as much as we can.
And that basis that you have this season, the good things and the bad things, how well suited is that to getting a result against this specific Liverpool team?
We'll find out on Sunday. I think we have real ways that if we stick to the game plan and stay brave and are aggressive, then you always have a chance against anyone. So yeah, we'll see.
You mentioned the foundation that Jurgen Klopp obviously gave Liverpool. What has Arne Slot done to give them that extra bit of pizzazz?
Well, I think in when you go into a club that's built on something for so long with top players that have bought into that, he hasn't changed too much. So I think it's the best management at that point is to go in and continue some of the brilliant things they were good at, to put his own spin on it, which he has done. There's certain patterns in the game and the way they build up now that are different to their previous manager, Jurgen Klopp. So, but also what that club's been built on, what the fans expect, the intensity, the relentless running, the want to press, the desire to press and hunt the ball. Yeah, of course they're gonna have that, and I think he's just built on that and put his own spin on it. I think over time it will look different again, and they're a top team. So yeah, it's I'm sure it was a beautiful job to walk into when he looked at it, and then he put his own spin on it, and I'm sure he's really liking the look of his team and the way they've bought into him and what he wants to do. So big credit to him for the way he's managed that. Yeah, and it's a good challenge for us.
We've seen what winning at Anfield has done for Nottingham Forest this season. What could a result of any of these big games coming up in terms of performance and result do for your entire season?
Yeah, change anything, change everything, change energy, change how people feel about it, give the players big belief. I don't think they're lacking in belief, but I think when you win it gives a certain level of confidence and gives you an extra spring in your step. But I think we'll just keep on course, and we'll trust the work, trust each other. At some point it will come, and then we need to use that to really keep improving and keep being better.
How are you maintaining the confidence, I guess, in the Premier League sharpness of your attacking players, your strikers, particularly when chances, service are not as maybe plentiful as they would have liked?
Well, I think we missed a lot of big chances. I think we're in the top 10 in the league for that, so I don't think it's been that against Wolves, definitely. But yeah, we just have to keep on, evidencing the good stuff, understanding why we're doing certain things or why we need certain things. At Wolves, we just didn't respond very well to 2 disappointing moments of decision, and then conceding the second goal, we didn't respond very well to that at all. And then we lost a bit of energy and aggression and desire to run really in the final third. It was a bit safe, which you have to understand in the context of things. But we have to just be relentless with what we're demanding from them, and they have to be relentless with what they're demanding from each other. And I'm pretty sure we'll see an improvement in that over the next few weeks.
Just finally, I think it's 9 games in 35 days, which one is a cup game, obviously. So I guess victims of your success in that regard. Do you like this schedule this time?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I love December. Yeah, we had a brilliant December last year. I love the intensity of the games. I love the festive period because it's what we've all grown up with, watching games and being involved in it. So, it's a brilliant month to look forward to and an exciting one. And the international breaks are done now, thank goodness, so we can actually try and get a bit of routine and rhythm and start building into something, hopefully, that will be, we'll see us in a very different position at the end of the month.
Thanks, Russell.
Just on the one thing I'd love to learn about the second goal being awarded to Wolves that no one's really talked about, which I was wondering you can enlighten me from your chat with Howard Webb. I thought in the same phase of a move, there was possibly something in ahead of the goal they'd look at. So did you find out why that wasn't even referred to VAR to have a look at the contact in the centre circle before he scored? Surely that should have been at least looked at.
Well, they were looking at the first foul from Mateus, which is maybe not a foul, and I agree with that, but I don't think they were even going to look at it until we complained on the sideline, and the fourth official said that we were looking for a foul against Dawson on Camacho, but it's waved away really, really quickly, which for someone of that experience in the VAR room, studio, whatever it is a bit frustrating for us, because I think it is a foul, and every still you see when it's slowed down, all that stuff, but like I said, it is what it is. But yeah, maybe there's a lot going on.
Maybe. Again, I think the ref could have been asked to go and look at that.
I think it's a foul if the referee doesn't have VAR. I think he gives a foul anyway. But I think with VAR they can maybe wait a bit longer and all that stuff. So then you are reliant on it being watched back, and I just don't think there was enough time spent on it really. But Howard knows our feelings on that, and I know his feelings on it. So it is what it is.
Alex McCarthy. Whenever you speak to him or people about him, he's Mr. Steady. He turns up every day, same expressions, everything. So talk to us about him stepping back into the fold, having not played in the Premier League since the second game against
I'm excited for him. I have so much trust in Alex, we all do, and I really mean that. The guys see what a top goalkeeper is every day. So I'm really comfortable with Alex going in. He's done a brilliant job for us whenever he's played. At the end of last season, maybe we're not here if he doesn't approach it with so much calmness and composure. If he came in a bit anxious or whatever and what he'd have done to the team, but he was immense. So listen, he's only not in the team because we had a goalkeeper that all of a sudden wanted to come here, and after a lot of work, and it didn't look achievable at that point. So I think Alex knows the quality of the goalkeeper we brought in and how difficult it's become for him, but he now has an opportunity with complete trust from everyone, and he's a brilliant goalkeeper and a brilliant person. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does.
Does Jan's absence make you take a serious look at the way you line up, or are you in a position where you feel where you can sort of plug and play and put someone in and carry on, or does his influence grow so great that you have to tinker?
I think his influence is huge, especially in the build-up and stuff like that. So, and I think we need to look at relationships. Who's played together a lot. It's something we spoke about a lot in this room with you guys about relationships, how important that is when we play in this way. So. Yeah, I think we've had a look at a few options. The formation of the team is not really, for us, like the be-all and end-all. Is not something to get hung up on. It's the concept of the team and who can step into certain positions and play in certain ways with certain people on the pitch. So, we've had a look at a lot of options. There's a few exciting ones and a few things I'd like to see a bit more and develop a bit further. And Sunday maybe is the chance for someone to come in, just be a straight swap for Yanni, or maybe a chance for us to have a little tweak and have a look at.
Just finally on Liverpool, we obviously played them up there in the Cup last year under a different manager.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're analysing them now, what are the major differences that we should try and spot in how they play under Slot compared to Klopp?
I just think they have there's a few different players in there. They have a few different patterns in the build and a different shape in the team. So yeah, like it's not and they change in game a little bit. They can tweak with what they have and the players they have. So I think hopefully you'll be looking at us a bit as well, and not just focusing on Liverpool. But I think you'll see the style of the team, and they can be a bit more patient in the build up for sure. But they're still so dangerous when they play quickly and play forward quickly and run. They have relentless running power. So I'm sure it will look fairly similar to people.
Just a final question on Flynn Downs, who obviously is back after missing out late at Wolves. Having spoken to him this week and talked to him about the amount of running he's been doing, and we sort of talked about whether he needs to do all that running all the time or whether and he's learning all the time, he said himself, and he's watching himself. How important is he to you? He stays fit. You've lost 2 of your backbone. How important is he to the whole thing?
Yeah, I think he was a massive loss at Wolves. Of everything we spoke about after the game, he would have added so much in stopping their transition with his athleticism, the aggression he has when he runs relentlessly for the team, and we just lacked a bit of that. So I think he would have. He was a big loss for us. So it's nice to have him back, and we need to manage him through this month because he's obviously coming back from a little injury. So yeah, we'll have to see how we can utilise him best.
Okay, move on for 10:30, Alfie.
John Parasol. Just quickly on Taylor again, if I can. You spoke about it a bit already, but I just wondered, have you sort of spoken to Lee Carsley ahead of the camp? Did you speak to Taylor's family? Did you watch the game, and did you celebrate his goal as much as I did?
I did celebrate his goal, yeah. So I watched that, but I didn't speak to Lee about him. Lee knows him as well as we do. He's worked with him for a good couple of years now. I made him his captain in the under-21, so we don't have to talk about. I'm sure Lee had plenty on his plate to deal with and talk about. Taylor definitely wasn't one of them. And see his mum and dad at games. So when I see them next, I'm sure I'll give them a hug and say congratulations. I know they'll be extremely proud. And I think they know he's in good hands here as well. And with the amount of care and love he gets here and attention, and also like try and improve him as much as we possibly can. So yeah, he's in a really good place today, and we need to try and keep him there. He's come back with a real nice confidence, and he looks really sharp, and it'll be great for him.
Flynn said he hasn't shut about it since you've given him a bit of stick as well.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've given him plenty. We have to make sure he keeps his feet on the ground as well. But yeah, I've got honestly, everyone's so happy for him, and yeah, if I'd played for England for 10 minutes even, I wouldn't have shut up about it either. So. I'll probably get hammered in Scotland for saying that, won't I? I was really proud to play for Scotland as well, so make sure that goes in there, which I was. So yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, Taylor's in a good place.
Clearly not feeling sorry for yourself about Ramsdale and Bednarek, but 2 massive players. Maybe when you need a little bit of luck or you just need to improve yourself, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth.
Yeah, it is, and like I can't pretend it hasn't. We spent half a day worrying about Yanni and our time off, and then get some bad news, although better than maybe it could have been. But yeah, it's frustrating, it's annoying, it's not ideal for the team, but it is what it is, and it's football, and we have a big squad, and whenever someone misses out, there's always an opportunity for someone else. Alex has his opportunity now, someone else will have their opportunity in place of Yanni, so it's up to them people to take it, and they should be excited about that. And you never know what you're going to find when that happens, and you can come across something that all of a sudden clicks and works, and we're working very hard in these couple of weeks to make sure we find the right solution to that.
I think before the break, the focus from the media questions to you was about the attack, and one of the things you talked about was maybe needing to get some real top-end speed, you called it. Obviously there's a lot of games between now and January. When you look at your squad and what you've got and how they're training this week, do you have the solutions there to bridge that gap?
Yeah, I think we're always trying to work out, like a coach's job I think is to find a problem, to work out what the problems are and find a solution, and then to anticipate the next problem. So we had some problems in the build-up early on in the season. The guys have really worked hard on that to sort it out. We have, and then of course, when you're trying to fix one problem, maybe another one arises. So now we have to solve another problem, find another solution. So it's the excitement of the job, and I think it's the players always a big part of that process, and they understand why. And we ask them for a lot of feedback as well and a lot of input. So I think everyone's really clear on what we need, and how we get there might look different game to game, but on what we need and the key principles, they'll never change. So we have to really make sure they are, once we step over the white line, they are actually carried out with as much intensity and as aggression as we possibly can, and that gives us the best chance.
I think in one of your answers to Wolves, you referenced MK, you had 2 sort of powerful, strong strikers. You played 2 centre forwards. You've obviously got Paul and Matthew here. Do you have the pieces to play 2 strikers, Cam and Paul together, or is that something you haven't?
I think we are looking at all the options available to us in terms of how we can find the best solution without changing everything. So we still want to maintain as much of the ball as we can, to dominate territory with the ball as much as we can. But also, if we're going to try other options, then you might have to give something up at some point. But we played 2 strikers last year. Away at Leeds at the end of last season, we played them at Newcastle, wide strikers this year, then played it at Forest, didn't quite like the look of it, so we've tweaked and changed the formation a lot since we've been here, but the concept of the game and the teams never looked too different. So it's maybe something at some point we'll see, But also we need to make sure we are being consistent with the players on what we want from them and what we're trying to achieve.
Just with one eye on January, I was speaking to Ronnie Edwards at a school visit earlier this week. He was great with the kids. He was really complimentary about his time here and sort of learning how to play under you, and he says he's now patiently waiting for a chance. But just looking ahead to January, maybe him and Sam Ammo, have you considered a loan for them maybe to the Championship, go and play some regular games? That's something you might do?
Yeah, I think we're in constant conversation about it. So people's situations can change so quickly. They can come in and play and change the whole dynamic of their short-term future here. But I think it's something we'll assess closer to January as well. We'll have a lot of options. We've got a massive squad. It needs to be trimmed for sure. However that looks, whether some players leave permanently, some go out on loan, it's too big really to try and keep everyone happy. And they're a brilliant group, and there's been no problem at all. But I think there'll be a few naturally that just want to play football that haven't. So Ronnie and Woody were really long-term signings for the club, but we maybe wouldn't impact the team too quickly short-term. But they're both stepped up, improving all the time and training with the players they're training with. It's a big jump from League One to the Premier League, but we have real belief that Ronnie will make that jump. He has 3 really top quality centre-halves playing in front of him, but he's getting better every day. He's got brilliant willingness to learn, coachable. So we'll assess his situation in January, and if he's in the situation he's in right now, then maybe it is best for him to go and play football for 6 months in the Championship and get that development in the same way Shay Charles is. So Ronnie's played a lot of games, so is Woody, but they're so young still, especially in their position, that there is no rush. I think they both understand the plan and the process, whilst being frustrated they're not playing, because they both want to play, but they train every day so well, and they're adding value massively, and eventually it will pay off for them.
Sam Ammo, it feels like he's been really close a couple of times, played a lot in pre-season, but just hasn't quite made the step into the team.
Yeah, and I think everyone develops at different rates. So like Sam is so talented, Tyler is so talented. Physically, they're very, very different. And the Premier League right now, Tyler is really capable of imposing himself. And Sam could in certain games for sure, but he's very different profile to Tyler. So, and also so young. So like, it's not normal, I don't think, for 18-year-olds to be playing every week in the Premier League, even to be on the bench every week in the Premier League. So for Sam, it'll feel, because he was involved so early with us last year, so young, it then feels different. But everyone's pathway and journey is different. So he just has to be patient. He has to keep doing what he's doing. He's trained so well. He has so much ability in certain moments. He also knows where we feel he needs to improve to really impact and be in the team and to get there regularly. So again, we'll assess his situation in January. And if we decide with him and his dad and his agent that that's best to play on loan, then it is. And if not, hopefully it means he's impacted the squad and the team, and it means he's staying here.
Just very finally for me, you've been asked about Pedro and Noel a lot, but I think every manager's going to be asked this weekend about the David Coote situation and whether that has damaged trust in referees, and just your take on that.
Well, I don't think so. We're dealing with human beings, and they will have some level of feeling or bias, conscious or unconscious, towards certain people and clubs and players, because the way they're treated by them, I would have thought, and their relationship with them. So I got on with certain referees way better than I did with others, and there were 1 or 2 that I just couldn't build a relationship with as a captain, even if I tried. So what they do outside of their football career as a referee really has no impact in how much I trust them. I think everyone's going to have their opinions and their feelings. Unfortunately for David, he's been caught on camera expressing his, which is probably his biggest mistake. I can't judge anything else. I don't know what's gone on. I haven't seen it. I'm not on social media. So, yeah, I'm sure he's getting really criticised, and I'm sure he's taking a lot of punishment by himself and everyone else for making a mistake. But everyone is a human being. Has it eroded my trust in referees? No, I think they're humans. They'll make mistakes the same way we do, and I do. My trust probably eroded a bit more after the decision at Wolves than it did in watching a human being, a man, make a mistake on a camera. So I think let's have a little bit of compassion, understanding everyone makes mistakes. He's done it outside of work. I'm sure he's going to pay the price for that in whatever way that is. And I'm sure he's feeling very upset and embarrassed about it. So I don't know if, yeah, I don't need to talk about it anymore. I feel for the guy and what he's going through, and yeah, I'm sure everyone will be enjoying the chance to criticise and make a statement about him, but I'm not going to. He's a human being. They all are. Hasn't changed how I feel about referees. Some of them I really like. Some of them don't like me. Some of them, you know, we're all different. We're all different. So it is what it is, and I'm sorry he's going through that, and I'm sure he's very sorry as well.